Bush didn't come here to Florida just to denounce Fidel Castro. He was also here to stump for his brother Jeb, the Florida governor, who of course is up for re-election in November. Democrats too are making a beeline for the Sunshine State. CNN's senior political correspondent Candy Crowley explains why.
The president's been to Florida 9 times since his inauguration, and nearly all the Democratic 2004 hopefuls managed to fit the April state convention into their schedules.
God bless you, Florida Democrats. Go get them in the fall.
Florida's like the O'Hare of the political world, jammed with incoming candidates.
It is great to be back in Florida, the home of the last time and the next time a Bush will come up short on Election Day.
But maybe we ought to rename this Spring Break for U.S. Senators.
What brings so many politicians to this Mickey Mouse state? It's not the palm trees or orange juice, it's the presidential electoral map. Reliably Democratic California has the most electoral votes of any state, 55, followed by reliably Republican Texas with 34, solidly Democratic New York 31, and Florida 27 electoral votes. With an exploding and changing population, younger and more diverse by the year, Florida is reliably nothing. In the 2000 election year of red states or blue, Florida was purple.
And we're outraged!
It is up for grabs, in play, a toss-up state, ergo a high traffic area for politicians.
Regardless of who our nominee is, we're going to elect a Democratic president in 2004 with Florida making the difference.
For Democrats, Remember Florida is as much a rallying cry as Remember the Alamo was to Texans.
You realize this is the first time that Al Gore and Joe Lieberman have been back in the state of Florida since the fall of 2000? But then again, this is Florida, so who's counting?
Basically, Democrats hope to keep their Florida base angry enough to vote in droves this fall in what is the hottest governor's race in the nation.
The people of Florida got a really good governor here, and it'd be wise to keep him.
The brother of the president and the son of another president is running for re-election, probably against a 63-year-old unemployed woman with a passion for her red pickup who once worked as attorney general for yet another president and during that time sent her employees into Miami's Little Havana to retrieve a little boy so she could send him back home to his father in Cuba, thus angering most of Florida's very political and very active Cuban community. One last thing, remember Katherine Harris, who certified the 2000 election results in Florida? She's running for Congress. My friends, make no mistake about it, if you are a political reporter...
Welcome to Florida.
Thank you very much. It's a little warm here.
If you're a political reporter, your cup runneth over in the Sunshine State. Candy Crowley, CNN.
Today we are asking ourselves a lot of questions. Esteban, the lights. Mr. Foley. Questions like, where will I go from here? What do I need to get there? Will I have help along the way? As we stand on the threshold of a bright future, there are answers, and the folks at Dell have them. They'll help you figure out exactly the PC that's right for you, all at a price no scholar can debate. So I say to you today, Carpe Dimension, seize the Dell.
Call or go online now and get a Dimension desktop for just $749, featuring an Intel Pentium 4 processor that delivers awesome performance for today's digital media, music, photos, gaming, and beyond. And right now, for a limited time, you'll get a free digital camera. There's great deals on notebooks, too.
Steven, keep the line moving.
Easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Closed captioning for selected programs provided by Prudential Real Estate.
Every surgery is different, but they can all lead to scars.
For my patients, I recommend Mederma to help reduce the appearance of scars.
Mederma, skincare for scars.
The political heat here is getting a lot hotter on Governor Jeb Bush over the disappearance of a 5-year-old girl who was in state custody. CNN national correspondent Susan Candiotti has the latest now on the case and its political ramifications.
Nearly 17 months after Rillia Wilson vanished, the trail appears as cold as ever. What is heating up? Attacks on Florida's child welfare system. One lightning rod, Secretary of State Kathleen Carney, who insists Rillia's case is isolated.
We don't believe that we have another child like this out there. That has been our focus and our concern.
When Florida Secretary says that the Wilson case, the Rillia Wilson case, is isolated, do you agree?
Absolutely not.
Last month, attorney Howard Talenfell won a record $5 million civil rights judgment against the state of Florida in another foster care case with eerie parallels to Rillia Wilson.
Rillia wasn't visited for 15 months. There were no documented visitations of these children for 20 months.
Rillia Wilson was last seen by a caseworker in January 2001. Her caretakers say a social worker took the youngster away for tests and never returned. The caseworker is under investigation for falsifying reports about the child. The youngster's caretaker showed deception on a polygraph, as did others who work for the state.
You have basically everyone trying to pass off the responsibility on someone else because nobody wants to be the ultimate person to whom the finger points.
Florida Governor Jeb Bush is under political attack for not doing more to improve the state's long-troubled child welfare agency. On Monday, opponent Janet Reno won a labor union endorsement for making it a campaign issue. The governor's blue ribbon panel promises get tough recommendations, but in the past decade, similar panels did the same.
Most of these recommendations collect dust.
This time, the governor's panel promises things will be different.
I certainly don't think any of us will be wasting our time.
How much time will it take to find Rillia Wilson? It's one question no one can answer. Susan Candiotti, CNN, Miami.
That story, of course, just one of the stories making headlines here in Miami. The other, of course, the visit of President Bush today to Miami to give a speech on his initiative on U.S. policy toward Cuba. Almost 1 week ago, we were in Havana, Cuba, for a speech by a former president, President Jimmy Carter, who told the Cuban people that he thinks it's time for America, for the U.S., to take a first step toward lifting the embargo. Today, President Bush took a first step, but it was in the other direction, tightening the U.S. embargo. It is amazing how short the distance is between those two countries. On our flight yesterday, it took us just 45 minutes to get here, and yet the two places are worlds apart. I'm Kate Snow, live in Miami. For all of us here, good night.
Tonight, Dominic Dunn. Having lost a daughter to a vicious killer, he takes issues of justice to heart. From Michael Skakel to John Benet Ramsey to accused Hollywood killer Robert Blake, Dominic Dunn will take your calls and give you an inside look at some of America's most sensational crimes. Plus, we'll get the latest on the Robert Blake murder case. Is the actor trying to buy the silence of his alleged co-conspirator? We'll hear from Blake's defense attorney, Harlan Braun. All that and more next on Larry King Live.